Hello everyone, I'm Randy Arrington and welcome to the 18th episode of Page Valley Living. We're here today along the Little Hawksbill Creek in Hawksbill Park just outside the town of Stanley, where they have a big day coming up on this Saturday where there will be dozens of rainbows jumping out of this creek and thousands of eggs covering Hawksbill Park. We'll be talking with Stanley Police Chief Ryan Dean about the town's big Trout Day and Easter egg hunt from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday right here along Little Hawksbill Creek in Hawksbill Park in Stanley. We'll talk about all that more in just a moment, but first, take a quick look at this week's headlines while I throw Chief Dean in the creek. And now looking back at the week that was in the Page Valley. On Monday night, the Page County Board of Supervisors heard a report on the budget process for fiscal year 2025, showing a $1.3 million gap between departmental request and projected revenues. While county staff will continue to work to narrow that deficit, one key tax recommendation from staff was to consider doubling the transient occupancy tax from 5% up to 10%. Placing more of the burden on visitors to the area rather than residential taxes. After a few more budget work sessions, the supervisors are expected to set tax rates for the next fiscal year in April and adopt the FY25 spending plan in May. At Monday's meeting, the board also unanimously approved a special use permit requested by Ian Whitlock to operate a banquet event facility on Big Oak Road in Luray. The 29-acre parcel is zoned for agricultural and will utilize an existing barn with an addition for hosting events. Other existing storage buildings will be converted to restrooms, a bar area, and additional storage. There were no speakers at Monday night's public hearing, and the application received unanimous approval from the Planning Commission along with a list of conditions. On Saturday morning, a passerby discovered the body of Douglas A. Burker, age 29, of Stanley, along Kite Hollow Road after a fatal motorcycle accident earlier that morning, in which Burker was believed to have been thrown from the bike and struck a large rock. Burker died at the scene. Speed and the lack of a helmet are considered factors in the fatality. The incident is still under investigation by state police. In the world of sports, in the early going this spring, the Page County High School softball team has come out on fire with a 3-0 start, including a big 3-2 non-district win on Friday over a tough Class 3 squad from Turner Ashby. Page County Baseball opened with a loss to East Rockingham before picking up wins over Stewart's Draft and Turner Ashby. They are now sitting at 2-1 in the early season. Page County Girls Soccer opened with a win while the boys suffered a loss. All Page County High School teams are going to open play in the Bull Run District on Monday, March the 25th, as they all host the Mountaineers of Madison County. At Luray High School, girls soccer has started off 1-0. Baseball is 1-1, while both the boys soccer and softball teams are looking for their first win. The Bulldogs will open their district play in the Bull Run by also hosting Madison County on Thursday, March the 28th. And now looking ahead at the weekend in the Page Valley on Saturday, March 23rd, as we're talking about in today's episode of Page Valley Living, it's the Trout Day and Easter egg hunt for the town of Stanley. They are hosting it in Hawksbill Park. The address is 205 Pool Drive in Stanley, and that's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. They're going to have trout fishing from 11 to 2, and then at 3 o'clock will be the Easter egg hunt. We're going to have more details about the whole day coming up with our interview with Chief Dean in just a moment. At 7:30 p.m. on Saturday night, it's the Robert Josby Quartet at the Rebecca J. Graves Regional Center for the Performing Arts in downtown Luray, and that event hosted by Performing Arts of Luray. That's 7:30 p.m. on Saturday night. And before you get to the weekend, don't forget this Thursday coming up, the Chamber of Commerce hosting Business After Hours at the Coffee Shop, 115 East Main Street in Stanley. That's the Business After Hours this Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. And that's the headlines for this past week in the Page Valley. Episode 18 of Page Valley Living is being recorded on Tuesday, March the 19th, and will air on Wednesday, March the 20th. And we're back here at Hawksbill Park here in Stanley, Virginia, and we're talking with Police Chief Ryan Dean. Chief, thanks for being with us here today.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Now, the police department is sponsoring this trout tournament here on Saturday and sponsoring Trout Day. Why did the department pick this particular type of event to host?
We thought this was the best event to have a chance for the kids and the parents to bring the kids to be around the police officers when we're not so formal. You know, we don't wear our main uniform. We wear something like what I'm wearing now, and we're easily approachable.
Well, I'll tell you, I love the trout fishing idea. I can remember back when trout fishing used to be a season. And my father and uncles and cousins, we get together and go camping up in the mountains, and of course waiting for that 12 o'clock on Saturday to hit, and everybody would be ready to go. Now, you guys hosting this event, you know, obviously you're hoping folks catch a whole bunch of fish, but besides that, what do you hope to accomplish by hosting this?
Well, there's some that the kids show up with their mothers who doesn't really know a whole lot about fishing. So each one of our officers will go around, and if we see some child that needs help or they ask us for help, we'll help them. And that's sort of what this day is for, is to bring the community together with the police officers. Making
our folks in law enforcement look like regular folks, look like human beings.
Yes, sir.
You guys do get stigmatized a lot in many different ways. So I think that is a great effort in the community. How many trout are they going to put in the stream here?
It's going to be right around 300.
300. Now, I noticed when we were walking down here and we were talking with Terry Beers and Terry Pettit earlier about how you guys have this thing sectioned off with kind of like little dams and little sections, really just for this event.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be 300 trout in there?
Yes, sir.
Going to be all rainbows, or are we going to get some browns and some brooks?
It's going to be 250 rainbows and 50 golden.
50 golden and 250 rainbows.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, man! Yeah, I've never caught a golden. I've been trout fishing a long time. I'm not sure that I've seen a golden trout.
They're a lot prettier in the water.
I've seen
than they
pictures.
are out.
Look like a carp.
Yes, sir.
Look like a carp.
Yeah.
A big goldfish.
Right.
Koi. So now I know some years y'all have prizes and stuff. You having prizes or things this year?
Each child that comes in and signs in, they'll get a little bait for them to use if they like. And then we'll have 15 door prizes.
Okay.
We don't want to turn it into a competition.
Gotcha.
Because it really isn't what this is about for us.
Gotcha. And of course, we're going to talk about the event being from 11 to 4. The trout fishing is from 11 to 2 o'clock. And then around 3 o'clock, we're opening up the gates, boy, because 10,000 eggs are going to be out here?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
With little prizes in them, and I guess they'll have different areas for different age groups.
Yes,
maybe some of the little ones that'll be kind of laying out there, and then for bigger kids like you and me, they're going to hide them. They're going to hide them a little bit more. 10,000 eggs. I cannot believe that's a heck of an Easter egg basket right there. That's a lot of eggs. Now, who's going to hide all them eggs?
Terry Beers, the Parks and Rec lady.
All right. Well, I do not envy her on that. Now we talked. I saw on the flyer that there's a raffle. Is it going to be? What are they going to raffle off, or is there door? That's part of the door prize. For the door prizes, okay. And food and drinks are going to be available as well, I believe. Now, you guys, last couple of years, y'all have had a pretty big crowd for this thing.
Yes, we usually average between 80 to 120 kids. And usually about 200 people on the creek itself.
Wow. Now where does it? It goes back up this way, I guess,
yes,
a way, and goes all the way down to this little bridge?
Yes, sir, all the way to the road.
200 people?
It's usually about, some of them sit back, grandma and granddad, they just come to watch the kids.
Well, I am glad I am not a trout.
Yes, sir.
I will tell you that right now. Woo, well, that's coming up, folks. The event is for children 12 and under. It's this Saturday, March the 23rd, from 11 to 4 o'clock here at Hawksbill Park, just outside of the town of Stanley. Trout fishing from 11 to 12. Then at 3 o'clock, that's when I'm going to turn them loose on those Easter eggs. Now, for more information, if you need to have any questions, call the town office of Stanley at 778-3454. That's 778-3454. Now, we're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to come back and play a game called the 5 W's. Will you do that with us?
Sure.
Okay. I appreciate it. We'll do that in just a moment, but first, we would like to invite local businesses to consider being a sponsor of Page Valley Living. Each week we explore a different issue important to the people of the Page Valley, and our viewership is growing. Each episode remains in our YouTube channel library indefinitely. So consider helping us keep this segment of our local news coverage going and try a new medium for your marketing. Monthly rates are available. And now back to Stanley Police Chief Ryan Dean here at the Hawksbill Park and the 5 W's. I'm going to ask you 5 questions dealing with the who, what, when, where, and why. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
He's always ready. All right, here we go. Who is supplying the trout for this Saturday's Trout Day?
Mr. Orndorff at Orndorff's Trout Farm out of Strasburg.
Out of Strasburg,
Yes,
okay. All right. Is that the same fellow y'all been using for a while?
Every year, same guy.
Wow, okay, excellent, excellent. And what is the biggest trout that you know of that has been caught during this event?
2 or 3 years ago, there was about a 2.5 pound rainbow caught.
2.5 pounds?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you were talking bass, I'd be like,
Yeah.
but a trout, that is a nice fish right
sir.
there. Now, I'm going to give you a double barrel here. Double barrel what? What's the best bait?
Probably the best bait here, honestly, is night crawlers.
Yeah.
Worms, it really
Yeah.
is.
I find that to be true pretty much anywhere you go. That is a standard right
It
there.
is.
Of course, now you know if you're watching a river runs through it, you can't have that live
Right.
bait, you know. But I don't mind a old night crawler myself. There, it's usually pretty effective. I'm not doing it for show. I want to catch fish.
Right, exactly right. Exactly right.
When did you first start this event?
We started this in 2017.
2017.
Seventh, besides COVID, this is our 7th year.
What gave you the idea to start it?
We just wanted something, like I said earlier, just to bring the kids mostly
Yeah.
to see the police officers like
Yeah.
like humans and not as, someone that's going to lock them up, that type of thing.
Right, right. Where do people travel from to come in here? I mean, you got 200-300 folks you're talking about. I mean, where are they coming from? Is it mostly Stanley, or do you get some Luray, Elkton? Do you get outside of that area?
We mostly all of Page County. Last couple of years, we've got several from Rockingham County.
Good, good.
And I think there's even one from Warren. So
Yeah.
we do pretty good.
Yeah, excellent. That was an excellent crowd. This is the last one here. We're going to let you go. Why is an event like this important for the department and the town of Stanley to host for the community?
Well, it goes back to the same thing. We're public relations guys. We always want to be the ones that shooting the basketball with the kids,
Right.
or fishing with the kids, and we don't want them to grow up to think the cops are bad or cops
Right.
are mean. We're
Right.
here to be their friends and help them out. If they need us.
Right, right.
So that's the main reason.
Well, I think that is a great reason right there. I wish y'all the best of luck. I hope you get 500 people on
Yes, sir.
Saturday coming in here. We want to say thank you to Stanley Police Chief Ryan Dean. Thanks for talking with us today, spending some time with us, and thank you for everything you do for the community and everything that you will continue to do for the Stanley community. The event is for children 12 and under this Saturday, March the 23rd, Stanley's Trout Day and Easter egg hunt from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The trout fishing is from 11 to 2, with the egg hunt kicking off at 3 p.m. right here at Hawksbill Park, right outside of Stanley. We want to say thanks to Eleanor Arrington for her work behind the camera today. And if you like today's episode, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News. And as always, make sure you go down to the Page County Animal Shelter and check out our furry friends out there and help them find a forever home. This is Randy Arrington. Until next week, saying enjoy that Page Valley living.